Well, hello everyone. It's sure good to see you again. Since we're only doing these once a week, we don't get a chance to do it as often. So hope that you're blessed by this opportunity to sit down together and be here in the library, one of my favorite places to be in the church, surrounded by books. I'm still old-fashioned. It's hard for me to get into these electronic reading things. I like to have paper pages and things to hold in my hand. And I was reading through the Bible the other day, and I came across a verse that I thought just was strange and interesting to me. So I did a little bit of digging on it. It's just two verses in Exodus 29, and it's talking about how the sacrifices were to be done in the tabernacle as the Jews wandered in the wilderness. And so this is from Exodus 29, verses 19 and 20. And this is God's instruction to Moses. Then you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall slaughter the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, and on the lobes of his sons' right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet, and sprinkle the rest of the blood around on the altar. Well, the first thing I thought of was maybe this is where the old saying head to toe came from, because it appears as though God is instructing this blood of the lamb that's been offered to cover. First, it talks about the lobes of the ears, and I think that perhaps the idea is that we need to be cleansed, and that's the whole idea of the blood, was cleansing from not just sin, but unclean thoughts, unclean actions, unclean words. And so as I think about the lobes of the ears, this would be hearing. This would be what we think about. And so that's something that is important to God, is that we should be listening to things that are edifying to us and thinking those thoughts that are edifying. Then the thumbs, I think, the very fact that we have thumbs and so many other creatures on the earth don't have thumbs is part of what makes us dexterous, the fact that we can do things. So our actions need to be wholesome actions. We need to be doing things with our hands that are helpful and loving towards other people. And I think the toe, how often do you think about your big toe? The only time I think about my big toe is when I stub it. And then, I think about it until it stops throbbing. But I think the toe is, realize this or not, your big toe has a lot to do with your balance and your ability to walk. And so when we think about our walk in life, it's not just one foot in front of the other, but our walk in life is what we do, not just what we do for a living, but what do we do for God? The Bible tells us that we are here actually to glorify God, to be not a lighthouse, but a mirror to reflect His glory. And one of the ways we can do that is by making sure that we're cleansing our thoughts, we're cleansing the things that we look at and read and think about, that we're cleansing our actions, doing the right things, and walking in a way that pleases God. So, thanks for thinking with me about your big toe and your earlobes, and hopefully this has been helpful in understanding what it is that God requires of us. God bless you all.